Hello, welcome to this week's video showcasing and evaluating the functionality of Blackboard Learn in Original View as a learning management system. So what we're going to get into today is we are going to create information in the grading center. We're going to create categories, and under those categories we're going to create gradable items. So the way that you do that in Blackboard is you have over here on the left hand side of the screen, you have the option called Grade Center. Now it has a couple options here, but you just click on Grade Center, Full Grade Center. And now you have some things that you can edit, but what you can see here is you can see username, student ID, last access, availability. What I'm going to go ahead and do is clean this up a little bit. So I'm going to, the ones that I don't need to see right now, I'm going to go ahead and hide from instructor view. Because if I ever wanted them back, they're fairly easy to bring back. I'm going to hide the username. I don't need to see that. And I'm going to go ahead and hide last access because I don't really care to see that either. All right, so that kind of just took us to where we have less stuff kind of filling up our cognitive load, let's say. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create categories. And what categories is going to do for you in Blackboard Learn's Grade Center is it's going to give you the ability when you have 30, 40, 50 plus students would be to go to that category, and then it just narrows down what you have to look at. So we're going to create a category labeled Week 1. So we do this by going here, Create Category, and we will name it Week 1. Submit. And now that we've done that, we're going to go back to Grade Center and we're going to create some gradable items. So the way that we do that is we say Create Column. We're going to have column name, we're going to name it Week. We're going to shorten week down so that there's less to say. Week 1, and then we're going to say discussion board. So we're going to keep it short just so there's not as much that you have to see in our columns up there. And then you see it has some options here. Primary display as the score. You can change it from the score to the letter, text, percentage, complete or incomplete, whichever you prefer. I'm going to keep it at score. The category, we're going to put it, we're going to put it under week 1. And we're going to add 5 points to it. You also have the ability right here to add a rubric. And if you had a standard rubric for discussion board posts, you could add it here. And so whenever you were creating, or when you go in here to grade later, you can use the rubric to grade it, which is really a nice function here. You can also have the due date, so you can enter the due date as, tomorrow at midnight if you see that as fit. And then you have some options here. Include this column in Grade Center calculations. So if this was something that you were wanting them to do, but it wasn't necessarily for a grade, you could say no here. Show this column to the students. Absolutely, we like to use the Grade Center to give students clear and precise feedback, and then show statistics for this column to students in My Grades. And we chose no, we do not want to show them statistics. And then we're just going to press submit, and we're going to continue to do this for discussion boards 1 through 5 under week 1. So let's just go ahead and create a couple more. We're going to say create column again. We're going to make this a reflection, self-reflection. Okay, let's start that one over. Week 1, self-reflection. Again, we have all these options under here. Since we're still working under week 1, we're going to say week 1 here. And we're going to add 5 points. And we're not adding anything to the rest of this, so we're just going to say submit. And you could continue to do this until you've created 5 options is what we're wanting here. So let's go. Oh, I didn't categorize it. I'm glad it stopped me because I hadn't done everything I wanted to do yet. And there you go. So I think you get the point. So we have all these options here. We can also move stuff around, which is pretty cool. The reason for having that category is if I was looking here and I wanted to make sure that, I could see only the things that I've categorized as week 1. I could select this, and then all that we can see at this point, let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit more. It's nice that you can do this, and it's dependent on the instructor how much you want to see about that student. But like I said, you can always bring those out. So anyways, I wanted to see week 1 and all of the assignments that I've categorized as week 1 would show here. So if I had a full grade book of, let's say we go all the way to week 12, and I wanted to look at week 10s, instead of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling forever, all I'd have to do is go up to the category, go to week 10, and then I'd only be able to see week 10's assignments. Another cool thing that you can do if you're having to scroll too much is you can bring it into full screen mode, which just kind of brings all of that front and center. And then you can also edit the rows displayed. There's lots of options that you can do in Grade Center, which is really nice. So that's it for this video, but stay tuned as we continue to dive deeper into the functionality of Blackboard Learn in its original course view and how it functions as a learning management system. Have a good day.